Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today, which it has been a while, it's been a couple of weeks, I think maybe even before Christmas. Today is January 24th, 2024, so it's been like 3-4 weeks since I've cut a video, released a video. Was here locally, shopping around. Was able to finally find this Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. Now, they had it at the store, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe, and I just kind of was passing, biding my time, wasn't sure it was really something I wanted. And then the day I went in to get it, it was gone. They had sold out of it. So they got some back on the shelves. This was bottled October 27th, 2023. This is batch 193 Charlie. And I picked this up maybe like a week or two ago. I think it was back in January 17th is when I bought this. Yeah, so we got that going on. Picked that up. Also, over Christmas, I picked up 4 different rums. Now, I'm not sure I actually have the prices on those rums, but they were all, like, if you're not already into whiskey, you should probably check out rum, because rum is super cheap compared to whiskey. I bought 4 different rums. I was watching an episode of How to Drink, and he was talking about rum and fat washing rum to make a hot buttered rum. And so I did 2 different fat washes here with butter. We'll give those a try here a little bit in another video soon to come. I know that this is a whiskey channel, but I have 4 rums. I'm going to review those just so I got some content. Like I said, I was going to slow down on doing whiskey reviews, and I have. In fact, this is probably the only bottle that I bought a Lagavulin Distiller's Edition, was able to pick it up for $96 and change at the same time that I bought this. So, of course, you're going to buy that. Because I think it'll be a second that we had of the 2023 edition, and I paid $145 for the 2023 that I had before, and at $96, you bet I'm going to be picking that up. So I did that, and then I got my eyes out. Probably the only 2 whiskeys that I'm like really, really jonesing for is I want to get my hands on a Stag at some point for a non-stupid price, and I want to get my hands on a Colonel E.H. Taylor single barrel also for a non-stupid price. Those are like my 2 unicorns that I'm looking for. Right now, I guess that's kind of going to round out. I mean, I still got my list that I always am looking for if I'm out there, but like I said, I was cutting back on buying whiskey because I got so dang much of it. Like I said, I think it was like somewhere around 350 bottles. I know, poor as me, such a terrible problem to have, but that's 350 open bottles of whiskey, and so been trying to start going through those and not becoming an alcoholic all at the same time. So there's all of that. So next couple of videos are going to be rum. So FYI, I'll see if I documented the price. I don't know if I did. Which, yeah, I was looking for a receipt here, and I don't know if I have it, because why would I keep the receipt for rum? I don't know. But in my opinion, fat washed rum with butter is awesome. We'll talk more about that and what you could do with the butter. Also awesome. Let's see, what else do you need to know? Dog and I, so my dog, Bunahaven, she'll be 8 months old here on February 10th. And we've been out chasing Hungarian partridge, 3 days a week here for the last 2-3 weeks. I've only managed to get one because they're darn hard to shoot when you're slip sliding up and down the hills and whatnot. Just to give you an idea, I do roughly 6 to 7 miles in 3 hours, and I put on like 1,500 to 1,800, sometimes 2,000 vertical feet of that's just elevation gain. She's running anywhere between 18 and 20. I think she ran 25 or 26 miles the other day. Both having a blast. She is doing absolutely amazing for a dog who's had pretty much no training. She points so beautifully. She'll hold that point. She does a great job. It's just been tough getting good shots where you're not half falling down, but that's neither here nor there. And I know, maybe a lot of you don't really care so much about that, but that's been kind of what I've been up to since my last video. What else do I got? I think that's kind of it. That's all that's going on. So with that, let's pour this. So pick this up for $60.09 here locally. I thought that was a pretty good price. This is ringing in at 58.32%. So what is that? That's 116.64 proof. 116.64 proof. That's pretty good. I have sampled this, but let's get into it, see what we think here. Now, I've seen several reviews of this Uncut Unfiltered, and it sounded very intriguing to me, which is why I decided to try and go pick this up a couple months ago when it was sold out. Glad I got my hands on it. Like I said, this is batch 193 Charlie C. So, it might be different for everybody. Now, I will say, sitting down here, now I have not been drinking a whole heck of a lot lately. Okay, so I'm going to assume that I have something on my hands because it is coming off like dill pickles. I mean, like straight up dill pickles in my hands, and I know that that is not at all what this smells like. So I'm going to assume I have something on my hands. So scratch that note. But I will say that in the glass, I was not getting hardly anything out of it. It was very tamped down for that high of a proof. I'm assuming it's probably because it's a little bit cold. So here in Wyoming, we had a cold snap, last week? Yeah, last week, it was running highs in the single negatives, -5, 6, 10, whatever. Overnight lows were pushing, 25, 30 below. Wind chills pushing 30, 40, 50 below. But, all in all, it wasn't really terrible. It was just, it went from like 50 to, and we got a little bit of snow finally. And there we go. That smells good. It went from like 50 to below zero I think it was below zero for like 4 or 5 days. Along with some snow, and then it circled right back today. Let's see, today's Wednesday. It's been pushing in the 40s the last 2 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's been in the 40s and 50s. Sunday, I think it was like the first day Saturday and Sunday was kind of when the cold snap broke, and it was pushing like 30, 40 degrees. It's been a nothing burger of a winter. Okay. So it has a very rich depth to the nose, very dense. The ethanol is kind of effervescent-y up in my nostrils, but the ethanol is not really punching forward at all. But I'm getting a dense, like antique wood, a very hefty brown sugary molasses, kind of leaning more towards that molasses where it has just that like little tinge of, I guess you'd call it a sour bit, or like wood oil. Some vanilla's in there. Little aggressive. Sorry. A little confectioner sugar too. Ethanol is really starting to punch out now, but man, it smells absolutely delicious. I could just sit and smell this for a while. It smells like something that you're going to want to have a cigar with. and just sit and sip and enjoy. There's a dark chocolate covered cherry in there, along with those sweet notes. Almost a wood varnish. It just smells good all the way around. Going in on the first sip here. Proof was up front quite a bit. That it kind of muted out a lot of the starting flavors. But those sweet notes really hit in the middle quite a bit. Where it went kind of a brown sugar molasses that was pretty well into the mid palate and pretty hefty, pretty clingy, oily clingy on the tongue. It pushed into this really heavy oak as well, but not in a tannic, bitter oakiness. It was just a nice, pleasant level of oak that kind of rode above the sweetness, and the two together really balanced each other out. It was a very well balanced flavor profile. It really finished with that oak, that fruit, that cherry note kind of picked up right at the end of that mid palate there. Like I said, the ethanol really blocked out that first couple of beats in the beginning part of the palate there. But there's a lot going on in there that I do like. Getting a little bit of graham cracker in there. I have to say, this is drinking kind of like what a Winkle 10 or a Pappy 15 drinks, where it has the oak flavor, but it hasn't crested the hill into super oaky, but young. So this has a much younger flavor profile than the oily oakiness of like a Pappy 2023. Where it's like just heavy viscosity. This doesn't have that. Now, I don't know if there is an age statement on here. And I don't even know. Boy, I don't know hardly anything about this, to be honest with you. I think this is a single barrel product, but it might not be. And it doesn't have an age statement on it, so I don't know how old this stuff is. Oh man, that just smells good. It almost smells like a double oaked product on the nose because of the density of the oak and the sugar coming together. Man, yeah, I mean that's kind of like has a very similar nose to the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. And it has some characteristics of the Wyoming Whiskey 10-year. But man, oak's the name of the game, but not in the way that I normally dislike it. It's not bitey. It's not bitter. It's just present there. I mean, I said it's something that you might want to have a cigar with. Like, you can almost smell like hints of cigar in the background, like a little bit of that tobacco, leather, oakiness in there. I mean, it's really, really good, and it's balanced out with that sweetness so that it's not too sweet and it's not too oaky or bitter. I do like it quite a bit. I'll go back in for a second. Got a little bit of peanut dust on the second one there, and almost a little bit of circus peanut. Still, that the ethanol's not biting hard. It's just like retronasally, I get a bunch of ethanol in my nasal cavity, which kind of mutes out and blocks out all the flavors that are on that first part of the sip, and then it picks up in that mid palate. Now that time I got some. If you watch some of my videos, I've shown you before. I cured some of them. Well, I didn't cure. I had some pipe tobacco that I took, put some whiskey into it, and let that age out quite a bit. And man, I got that pipe tobacco whiskey flavor at the beginning of that mid palate. As soon as that ethanol let off, that was the first thing that hit. It was awesome. So there's good tobacco in there, a little bit of leather, a little dust. The sweet notes are just, man, balanced. Balance is the name of the game. And like I said, that ethanol is not biting me. It's just covering up some of those flavors in the beginning. But man, on the finish, it's excellent. This is just really good whiskey. I'm giving this my seal of approval. This is really good. $60. You can't go wrong with that. Hopefully that's what you can find it for. So go ahead and drop down in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Smoke Wagon for in your area. I think it was in December I took and I started cranking out 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel, and then on BitChute, if you're on there, it automatically, for some reason, has started to bring old videos up and repost them. I don't know how that works, so sorry if that's annoying, but at least it's keeping content going, I guess. I don't know how to turn that off or what to do about that. It started doing that maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I don't know what that's about, so sorry if that's annoying to you, but hopefully maybe it'll bring up a video that you haven't seen before. I don't know. At least on my end, that's what it's showing it's doing. On YouTube anyways, like I said, I'm dropping 2 videos a week just like I do on BitChute, and I think I have it running through the end of April or May as of present on YouTube, but I also think that I have not posted to YouTube probably, I don't even know, 50 videos plus. So there's a lot of videos left that I can put onto YouTube, this being one of them, but this will be on BitChute. Like I said, today is January 24th. This might be out maybe Saturday. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's my review. Drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle of Smoke Wagon Unfiltered Uncut for in your area. I think it's really good, so go ahead and drop down there and tell me what your experience with it is. I'm a fan. This one's gonna go. So if you're ever in my bar, a little secret. The good stuff's actually on the bottom shelf in the back, which makes it the hardest to get to, and kind of my lesser whiskeys, as we shall say, are kind of up, more visible, easier, more accessible. You know, when you got that many bottles, you got to find a place to put everything, and so I tend to tuck the good ones in the back, where I don't have to grab, you know, where I can't grab them all the time. Not necessarily good ones too, it's just, you know, stuff that's harder for me to get my hands on. So even like good stuff, like I got the JTS Brown Bottled and Bond, which is excellent. You know, that's up front, easily accessible, but I can also go, you know, I can have my hunting partner pick up one of those, or I can get one of those when I'm in Indiana or something. So, you know, stuff like that, stuff that's a little bit easier. Like this whole half of the bar over here is all rye, this is all bourbon, this is all scotch, and then the whole bottom shelf from here to here is all bourbon as well. So yeah, we got plenty of stuff to go through. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you did, go ahead and tell me about it. If not, let me know what I could do better. Like I said, it's going to be a while before I get some more whiskey to review. I got some ideas about doing some comparisons and whatnot, and I might get around to that and whatnot, but I've kind of tapered off on the drinking as well, so we'll see. Next up, we are going to do a review of these rums here. So if you're curious about rum at all, jump into that. We're going to go through and do the rum on a neat pour first, and then we'll go through and we'll talk about this fat wash stuff and let you know how that goes. So as always, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.